Hi everyone, this is a review of 3 products that I have been trying from the TRESemme Freshstart range, and this is a review request by Angeliki5002. I hope I have pronounced that right. Thank you so much for this. I mentioned these 3 products in my September haul, I think it was. So there's the TRESemme Freshstart Refreshing Mist, the TRESemme Freshstart Waterless Foam Shampoo, and the TRESemme Freshstart Dry Shampoo. And what I'll do is I'll go through each product in turn. I'll do a little overview of it and sort of my thoughts and feelings. My hair type is fairly thick, so thick to coarse. I have sort of coarse hair sort of under layer, and then sort of on the top it's actually sort of normal and more straighter. My hair is naturally very wavy, but I do actually use heat on it to straighten it. And it is sort of fairly long. It is below shoulder length, and it is colour treated at the moment. The one that impressed me the most, which is the Waterless Foam Shampoo. For those of you in Australia, I picked this up at Priceline. I'll put all the prices down below. Now this one is for dry, curly to normal hair, moisturising cleanser with aloe vera and citrus, and this is 6 fluid ounces or 177 mils. Now this one does come with a pump, so it's like a lot of foam mousses. The idea being you just pump, obviously shake it up first and then pump the product into your hand. Recommends for mid-length hair 2 to 3 pumps, but for my hair, which is fairly thick and it's below my shoulders, I use 3 to 4 pumps. So but once you've got the product in your hand, you sort of run it through your hair with your fingers, drop to the ends, use a towel to wipe the product through or wipe the product out of your hair, which is supposed to absorb the excess oil and sort of cleanse your hair. And it is a fairly refreshing sort of smell. It does have tangerine and grapefruit extract in it, which is the citrus. And it is really nice, a pleasant sort of smell, depending if you do like citrusy smells. And it's not a sticky or tacky sort of feeling. So you might find this useful for those of you that have sort of maybe oilier roots and sort of dry ends, if you heat treat your hair, if your hair's fairly thick and fairly long. So it sort of just depends. I know there's a lot of mixed reviews out there, but once you sort of put it through, you can use the refreshing mist for the ends of your hair to sort of add that extra step, or the odor reduction. But basically with this one, it is fairly good. The most ingredient in this is water, so again, obviously you don't need extra water to activate it or to sort of rinse out the product. You just have a towel to sort of help wipe that through. And obviously, like I said, the aloe vera and the tangerine extract in there as well. It's also got witch hazel in here as well. But my overall thoughts and feelings, I think it's fairly cheap, or fairly reasonable price for the actual product. Like I said, 177 mils. It's about, I think, $7 or so. I'll put the actual price down below that I paid in Australian dollars. The smell is fine. I find the fragrance quite nice. It doesn't leave a sticky or a residue on my hair that I can feel, but I did find with it, because I have fairly oily roots but dry sort of ends, that when I was using it sort of near my roots, rubbing it through and then using a towel to dry it, even though it sort of took away any sort of oily feeling or maybe a greasy feeling, I did find that it left my hair fairly slick feeling. It was shiny, so it wasn't an unpleasant sort of slickness. It wasn't a greasy slickness, but it did look like I'd sort of used some product on my hair. So it did sort of, even though it was sort of sheen, I did find by the end of the day it sort of had a really dull sort of look to it as well. But you could tell something had been used on the hair. So, but I did find that for anything maybe a palm's length down from my hair, sort of towards the ends, it actually was really nice. It gave a really nice healthy sheen to the hair, a nice shine. It didn't make my hair look dull or didn't leave a heavy feeling, so I can actually feel there was any product in there sort of wiped out when I was toweling it. And it did leave it smelling really nice and gave it a nice refreshing feeling. So it did sort of leave my hair feeling revitalized or refreshed. And that was even on days where I wasn't using the refreshing mist. It does recommend it as an extra step after using your dry or your waterless foam shampoo. But yeah, the refreshing citrusy smell didn't really last in the hair very long. It probably lasted maybe 1 or 2 hours, but I found sort of after that I couldn't really smell it, so which is actually quite good. I don't really want to walk around smelling like grapefruit and tangerine, even though I don't dislike the smell. Overall thoughts and feelings, I did find it a great alternative to sort of dry shampoos, because I haven't used dry shampoos for many years. I've also used, you can get tubes, I forget the name, but tubes of cream that you can sort of rub through your hair for those in between days, but it looks like moisturising cream. It's actually a cream you rub through your hair and then sort of towel out. I did find it a little bit better. It didn't leave me that sort of sticky feeling with those creams. It also didn't leave that sort of white powdery look you can get from some dry shampoos, or that slightly stiff sort of feeling you can get as well. So that was nice. It didn't weigh my hair down, didn't leave a white sheen to it. But I just found it was a little bit better when I wasn't using it right on my roots. And it didn't make it sort of go wavy or curly. I thought, oh no, because this is mainly water in this product, I thought my hair's going to curl up and frizz, but it didn't actually do that. Once I sort of toweled it out, it dried really quickly. The whole routine took about 30 seconds and probably about a couple of minutes before it sort of dried up nicely. For the second product, which is the actual Freshtart dry shampoo, this one is for oily, straight to normal hair, waterless oil and odour remover with mineral clay and citrus, and this is about 5.7 ounces or 161 grams. This is the same price as the foam shampoo. This, again, like a lot of dry shampoos, is just the spray. Other dry shampoos I've used, the Batiste or the Chlorane sort of ones as well. Very, very, very similar. The idea being you shake it up about 8 to 12 inches away from your hair, you spray it throughout your hair, and then you wait 1 to 2 minutes for it to absorb. The mineral clay is the actual product that absorbs the excess oil, and then you get a brush to brush the product through or out of your hair. And then again, an extra step is you can use refreshing mist as an extra odor. My hair doesn't normally smell when I haven't washed it because it's only on the second day, but again, it gives a nice refreshing sort of lift to your hair, the scent. This one is like a lot of dry shampoos. Once you sort of sprayed it on and as it's absorbing, leaves a slightly white sort of sheen to the hair. It didn't actually leave a really bad white sheen that I get from a lot of other sort of dry shampoos I've tried in the past, but other ones I've tried, it's sort of spotty and dry and clumpy. This was a quite nice even spray that it left on the hair, and it wasn't unpleasant. Again, it has the tangerine and the grapefruit extract. It also has alcohol like a lot of other dry shampoos. So that's basically, I mean, obviously this is way too close, but that's sort of the idea. It's much, much finer than that. Obviously it leaves on your hair when you do it 8 to 12 inches away, but it is this fairly white sort of sheen. Smells probably a little bit more pleasant or a little bit more citrusy in the other two products, the refreshing mist and the waterless foam shampoo. I can sort of pick up the alcohol in this though, the scent. Slightly unpleasant, but of course you're not spraying that much on the hair and you do brush it out. The mineral clay does seem to absorb the oil, so when I've been using it more on my roots, I do notice that it does seem to absorb the oil once I brush it through. The only thing is it still does leave a slightly powdery sort of look to the hair, or slightly dulling effect, obviously from the white or there you go, the mineral clay, which is what's dried on my hands there to my hair. So it's really just a case of making sure it is at least 8 to 12 inches away from your head when you spray it, that you brush it thoroughly, very thoroughly through your hair, even maybe get a towel. Sometimes I've done and sort of tried to wipe it through, because you don't want that unsightly white sheen on. The only thing I do find that maybe half an hour after I've done it, and this has happened just about every single time that I've used this, is that my roots start to get a little bit, I won't say oily, but they seem to get a little bit greasier feeling. So I'm not sure if that's finally the mineral clay is dried off, or the alcohol and everything sort of come off my hair by then, and obviously the natural oils are coming through, but it does seem to basically not last very long, and my hair is actually very slick. Very, very slick feeling. I feel like there's a film on my hair, even though I've thoroughly brushed my hair through, so I can still feel something. I've even gone back maybe an hour or so later and used my other dry shampoos. I've had to use my other dry shampoos on my hair, brush them through, and then I haven't had that sort of greasy sort of feeling return to my hair until the next day, and then I wash my hair. It does seem to absorb the oil, but it doesn't seem to last. This does work for a little bit of time being, but I find my other dry shampoos do a little bit better job, unfortunately, than that. I was really wanting to like the TRESemme one, because I love TRESemme products, as you know. I've mentioned numerous times I love the TRESemme leave-in heat tamer. I love that. I also love the TRESemme hair sprays as well, but unfortunately for me, didn't really work on the roots, and I found it gave a fairly similar effect to a lot of my other dry shampoos, say from just under the roots all the way down. I wasn't particularly impressed with it or the fragrance, and I found the foam shampoo was a lot better for me personally. And the third product is the TRESemme Freshstart Refreshing Mist, and this says for all hair types, so it doesn't matter what hair type, you should be able to use this one. And it's odor neutralizing formula with citrus, again the tangerine and the grapefruit extract, and this is 4 fluid ounces or 118 mils. Again, I'll put the price down below. So this one, again, main ingredient is water and alcohol, the citrus as well. And it's supposedly after you've used your product, either the dry shampoo or any other dry shampoo, you should be able to use it. And I actually did try that, and the Waterless foam shampoo, you spray this through. So apply the Freshtart spray 8 to 12 inches from the head, and then you can style it as usual. So I only used a couple of little pumps around my head, sort of mainly not from the roots but sort of from the midway down, sort of rub that sort of through. It dried really quickly, I'd say within 30 seconds to a minute. I didn't really notice it through my hair. Same sort of smell as the Waterless foam shampoo, that citrusy scent. I found days when I was using it in conjunction with the shampoos that probably lasted maybe another half an hour to an hour more on my hair. I could sort of smell it sort of on the ends. It did sort of give a nice lift to my hair, meaning it sort of gave a nice sort of sheen to my hair. I'm not sure what product in that was actually doing that. But it sort of gave a nice sheen to the sort of the end of my hair, so I didn't want to use it on my roots because it did leave a slightly, not greasy, but I did notice that it sort of gave a way too much shine and it looked greasy when I was actually using this sort of on the actual roots. But when I was spraying it, making sure 8 to 12 inches down the midway, it was fine, nice refreshing thing. I didn't find it really did anything for my hair apart from give the that nice smell. Like I said before, my hair doesn't really have an unpleasant odor when I'm not washing it, and I only wash it every second day anyway, so it doesn't really have enough time to sort of build up any unpleasant odor. So for me, it was really an unnecessary step. It's not something that defrizzes my hair. There is a cream that you can get in this range for that. And I would prefer to use my leave-in conditioners or other sprays on my ends of my hair anyway when I'm using the dry shampoos or the Waterless foam shampoo. So really find it was an unnecessary step, but it might be something good. So if you're going out for the day, maybe to the beach, or you're going away for traveling for a day, you're taking your other dry shampoos, or you're not taking anything, but you want something to sort of spray through your hair to revitalise this might be an extra nice little step for you to take, rather than having to lug all the other sort of products with you. But for me, I found it sort of unnecessary step with the other products when I have my other sort of conditioners or other sprays that I would use. So I hope you did find this interesting. That's sort of my thoughts and feelings on the products. Like I said, I'll put all the details down below, and keep your requests coming, guys. I am working through other ones as well that I have received, so take care.